Hello, dear friends. Just a short video from me today. I wanted to let you know about a few courses that I'm putting on sale for the next few days. If you were a writer, if you're thinking about becoming a writer, or if you know a writer, there are some really nice resources for you in this special Christmas shop for writers. Those of you who have followed me know that I do instruction as part of my regular writer business. I do have one-on-one coaching on Patreon that you can check out at my Patreon community. I also am the dean of the St. Basil Writers Workshop, which is going to be opening its doors to registration for 2024-2025 in a few short weeks. I'm very excited about that. But I also have a few courses of my own. And because it's Christmas, because it's the end of the year, and because I have some really cool plans for 2024, I wanted to assemble everything that I have right now for writers and make it available at the cheapest price that ever it's been ever sold for. So I wanted to briefly go over the three courses that I've put into this Christmas shop. You can see the link for the Christmas shop in the description of this video. And let me tell you what those three courses are. The first is a brand new mini course. It's 4 lessons. It's called Navigating the Choppy Waters of Publishing. So the story behind this one is quite simple. Last year, I was teaching and leading as dean the St. Basil Writers Workshop, which is a advanced beginner, early intermediate program for writers who are just about ready to get published or have already been published and want to take their writing game to the next level. In the first year, and it ended up being almost entirely a year of instruction in the craft of writing. And a lot of the people who had signed up for it had hoped for a little bit more of instruction in the publishing business of writing. So what I ended up doing is I ended up basically collecting a lot of information from some of the most in on it people in publishing these days, both in the independent, that is self-publishing space, and in the traditional publishing space, and basically doing a short retrospective on the state of publishing in 2023 going into 2024 with some cautious projections about what will happen in the future. But mostly this is a guide for writers who are soon to be published or thinking about getting published, to help them decide what publishing path they should take. Traditional publishing or self-publishing, which I prefer to call independent publishing, because there is still a bit of a stigma associated with self-publishing, especially in some circles. So this particular course is very simple. Lesson 1 is a kind of a retrospective about the history of publishing and letting you know where we are right now and why we are right now. This is me combing through a lot of information that I've collected and I've studied over the past 5-6 years as I've been publishing my own books, and also taking courses with people who know what they're talking about, people who are experts in the field, and who have in the past been very good about predicting trends for the future. These include people who have written hundreds of books, who are New York Times bestsellers, and people who are generally considered to be insiders in the business of writing itself. That lesson 1 is a basic kind of overview of where the state of publishing is now. It is a little bit dark, but it is very realistic and honest. So there's that at the very least. Lesson 2 is a guide to self-publishing your book in this current market. Lesson 3 is a guide to how to publish through the traditional publishing channels. And lesson 4, and this is the best one, is an interview with the wonderful writer and traditionally published author Christopher Rocko, whose Sun Eater series is a fantastic inheritor of both Dune and Star Wars, wonderful series of books. And he talks about his journey to publishing and also how he is using both self-publishing and traditional publishing in his particular business model, and how that has helped him basically become a full-time writer who's able to support himself and his family with his writing in a space of time that is quite quick compared to most other writers who enter into the publishing sphere at this time. So it's a wonderful glimpse into how it can be done by just a regular Joe who didn't have any insider access to the publishing business, who's just a good writer with a go-getter attitude and an excellent sense for business. So that's the first course. It's navigating the choppy waters of publishing. The second course is motivating your lazy characters. Motivating your lazy characters is a recent course that I live taught in October. to a small group of students, about 35 students. It is a beginner's craft course that teaches you how to understand, uh, how to build compelling characters, how to craft compelling scenes, and how to connect character, plot, scene structure into the overall shape of a novel in a way that is actually quite formulaic, not in the sense of it being boring, but in the sense of there being a technique and a series of steps that, once followed, can actually help you write very compelling commercial fiction. This is my take on some of the best uh, craft books out there, including Dwight Swain's Secrets of the Selling Writer and Deborah Dixon's GMC, with a few other things sprinkled in. And that is a 4-lesson course that's also available on sale. The third one is a course that I taught several times, and I've sold before under a different under the title Guideposts to Your Story. I've rebranded it and called it The Art of Storytelling. And this is me curating some of the best uh, intermediate, or rather it's kind of mid beginner advice in the craft of writing, especially as it has been taught in the past by such great writers as Ursula Le Guin and Stephen King. So that one is slightly above uh, in terms of its difficulty, level of difficulty, than motivating your lazy characters. It's definitely a beautiful course for those people who are in the process of writing, who haven't yet finished, and who really want to understand how the techniques of fiction writing can be used to craft beautiful stories. So if motivating your lazy characters is a very entry level beginning course that can help people who are just starting out, the art of storytelling is the next step up, and it is broader and wider and goes into some of the ways that classic writers, both in the speculative fiction space and even in other genres, including classic literature, how they use certain techniques in a way that doesn't uh, dim or repress the creativity, but instead allows them to be more creative and to be more original by allowing them to work within the frame of the what is effectively the rules of good storytelling. These rules have been true of storytelling from the beginning. They are present in the works of the ancient poets, of the Greek and Roman poets. Homer uses them. Aristotle talks about them in his wonderful work, uh, in his wonderful Poetics. And this is my attempt to curate uh, some of the best advice from some of the best writers out there into a form that it's uh, easy to digest in small bits. It also is the one course that has some very in-depth and detailed homework assignments that can really help you. I've done them myself for my own writing, that can really help you maximize the techniques of fiction. It can help you raise your writing from the level of aspiring beginner to someone who is really starting to control and have an active participation in the craft to create some things that are quite beautiful and not simply pedestrian and everyday. So those are the 3 courses that are now available in the Christmas shop. They are bundled in different ways so that depending on how you buy them in version 1, 2, or 3, version 1 is just navigating the choppy waters of publishing. Version 2 is navigating the choppy waters of publishing and motivate your lazy character. And version 3 is all 3 of those courses bundled together at a price that is cheaper than you will ever find any one of them individually. But the real reason that you want to take part of this Christmas sale for writers is the following. If you buy any one of these courses or all of them, you will automatically get access to the Story Hearth for 3 months. What is the Story Hearth, you ask? Well, the Story Hearth is a community for writers. It is a community for writers of all levels and all ages. It's a recently opened one. It has already helped several people finish their works in progress, and it's a really great opportunity for writers to talk to each other, to help each other, to encourage each other in difficult times. There is an accountability group that has been very helpful for a group of writers. There is also an ongoing series of webinars as part of the community that are on the business of publishing specifically. And those webinars are happening one a month. They are free if you are a member of Story Hearth. Otherwise, they're $25 each. And when fully assembled, they will be the definitive webinar library for authors who want to go the self-publishing space, that will teach them how to do everything from formatting their book to finding the right to finding and working with the right contractors such as editors and cover designers to make their book the best that it can be, to setting up an author website, to building an author platform, to then putting the books on the different self-publishing retailers, to then slowly building a business that can make them not only financially successful but also creatively free to do the things that they want to do with their stories, whatever that may be. So this is the real hidden gem of this particular Christmas sale. And that's that if you buy any one of those courses or all of them, as I mentioned, you get free access to the Story Hearth, which is normally $20 a month, $19.99 a month. You will get that for free for 3 months. And believe me, we have a wonderful time inside there. It's a really warm and welcoming community, a great opportunity to see yourself as a member, not simply of a solitary calling, which many of us do see ourselves as writers, but to see that actually storytelling can happen in a community in a way that can help both ourselves and others. So I invite you to check out the Christmas shop for writers. As I mentioned previously in this video, the link for the Christmas shop is in the description for this video, in the description of this video below. Check it out. And I also must say that this sale will only last until tomorrow evening. It has been open for a week and a half now, but we are closing our doors. It's time for the end of the year. It's time for me to close shop in my business for a while and to focus on family and on Christmas and on other more important things. So this is the last chance you will have to access both the courses and your free entry into the Story Hearth for, as I mentioned, 3 months for free. So go check it out. Again, the link is in the description, and don't dawdle too long, because tomorrow evening, right around 9 p.m. Eastern time, all of those codes, those discount codes, will expire. So that's a little present from me to you, you writers. If you are not a writer, but you know somebody who is, this is a great present to include. And I should say that this is also probably going to be the last time I offer these particular courses in this particular way, ever. So I'm not going to be selling these courses individually anymore. They're going to go onto an archived section of the Story Hearth website, and I might even get rid of them entirely in preparation for St. Basil's next year. So this may be your only and last chance to get these courses, which people have found to be very useful. You can see people's testimonials on the sales page of the courses. As I mentioned, that link is in the description. Just a short little update from me to you writers, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and Merry Christmas. I'll see you soon.